Hey everyone, welcome to the new moon alert for the Taurus full moon for May. I'm excited because the new moon coming up has a lot of planetary playfulness that's going on, which I'll talk about in just a sec. But this is going to be for May 11th at 12:59 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So depending on where you're at in the world, that's when the new moon is going to hit its newness. And so you'll probably start feeling the effects a couple days before, and of course a couple days after, as the new moon takes its leap. So, the last Taurus full moon was back on October 31st of 2020, Halloween, woo! So that was a time of grounding. The full moon in Taurus kind of yells for practical planning towards your dream or finances, things like that. And what we kind of looked at back then was 10 things that that you're wonderful with, or 10 things that are wonderful about you. And so the 6 months, it's almost 6 months ago, coming to this fruition here, that was all the journey from that full moon until this point. So now it's time to plant new seeds regarding that. So we'll go into that for the full moon. If you choose the full moon card as you're reading, or if you listen to all of them, one of the things that we're going to look at, which you can do regardless if you listen to the reading or not, is evaluate what were the 10 things you thought were wonderful back in October, and what make a new list now, and see how that has changed because of what you've let go since then until now. So I mentioned the new moon. There's some planetary playfulness going on, and so with the new moon, Pluto, Saturn, and Jupiter around this new moon time are going to be playing with each other. And I love it because when you look at the overall energies of it all, it's about expanding our spiritual journey and our personal growth. So this new moon is the kind of everyone's at the starting line, and you hear that, and then we're going to be going on that little, not that it's a race or competition, but it's a start of a new journey, a start of a new awareness about ourselves. So the new moon in Taurus also, and these cards are from this Moonology Oracle card deck here. And so it talks about in the little book in here just how it's about planting seeds of abundance. And through this new moon, we gain clarity of our values. So we can ask ourselves the question, what do we value most? And it's a time for self-care, for self-love. And because of all that, one of the kind of the influence or the question or the emphasis and focus for this new moon and around, probably I almost feel this like about 4 to 6 weeks from the new moon on, we're going to be having this message of you can only love others as much as you love yourself. And you can only allow others to love you as much as you love yourself. So sometimes this can mean a new relationship, but I really feel, this is a general reading, of course, but I really feel that the emphasis is on a new relationship with yourself. And one of the things that has come up in my life is, don't cheat on yourself. When you're in a relationship with yourself, don't cheat on yourself. And how do we cheat on ourselves? When we look for others for our love, for others for our definition, for our depth of intimacy with the unconditional love and the Creator. So when we're looking outside of ourselves to fulfill us, we're cheating on ourselves, because really the only love that will fulfill us is this self-love, is the unconditional love from the Creator of all things that lives in our heart. And that's what we truly are desiring, and really is the only thing that will fulfill us for long at all. I always talk about with my roommates, especially, we're like, yep, external stuff is Chinese food. You eat it and you're hungry moments later, but you look inside and that love is what fulfills you and makes you feel whole. So that's kind of the energy around this new moon, and we'll go ahead and jump in and have some readings for each one of these, so you have a choice of whichever one you want. You can do 1, 2, or all 3. We're not going to limit you there. So you have the first one is the new moon in Taurus, and it says prosperity lies ahead. Moo moo. I guess I don't know if bulls go moo. And then you have the new moon in general, so a new start is coming. So just because it's a new moon, specifically it's a new moon in Taurus. And then you can look back reflective for the full moon in Taurus that happened back in October. Your dreams need a practical plan. Full moon in Taurus. So that's reading 1, 2, and 3. Timestamps are in the description box below if you want to jump to one of the others. If you wanted number 1, we're heading into that right now. So here we go. Right, if you chose reading number 1, the new moon in Taurus, then this is the reading for you. If you didn't listen to the intro, what I'm going to just kind of focus on for this specific reading, if you chose this card, was that, like, what do you value most? And it's also kind of two. It's like, what do you value most? And kind of similar, it's, what can you look at to make time for your self-care, your self-love? Because we talked about you can only love yourself you can only love others as much as you love yourself. And you can only allow others to love you as much as you love yourself. So there's this filter of your self-worth that when your love goes out, it's only going to allow out as much as you love yourself, and it's only going to allow much in as much as you love yourself. So, if you feel you're not getting the love from the outside, then this is going to help identify, about how can I expand the love for myself? How can I find out what I truly value about myself? So I really feel that that's more the focus than just a general question of what do you value most. It's what do you value most about you. All right, and then before I start shuffling and we're getting the guidance, I just always love to start off by welcoming the Creator here with us. We thank you so much for being here. We know you're always with us, but we appreciate it so much, and we're grateful for the unconditional love that you have for us. We also welcome all of the Creator's posse, all of those angels and guides and loved ones on the other side, and ancestors, and all the myriad of unconditionally loving beings of light and love. We welcome you all here, and thank you for helping bring through messages as well. All right, let's hop in, see what those that chose the new moon in Taurus, what information can help us understand about our self-love and how we can expand our self-love. This deck here is the Queen of the Moon Oracle, and so we're going to start off with that here. Okay. They are full of energy for sure. Okay, what specific message do you want to give us, please? I feel like they want me to read the entire book to you. Okay, was there another one? I know you were trying to give me 2. Okay, we're gonna take 2. So the first one is discernment, and that's the number 10, which of course is about completions and new beginnings. And I love that. Head in the heavens, heart being held, so we'll look into that as well. And then also creation, number 39. And I love that. Seeing your higher self is what I'm really picking up from this, is that, this is us being able to, as we're walking along this earth, and, all those external things are always putting us on the clearance rack when we define ourselves by, this retail price that we feel the world puts on us. What's your worth? Let me tell you what your worth is. But when we look higher and see how really huge and massive and powerful and unending and eternal, spirit being that we are, we're just like, wow, blown away. So I feel like that's the answer to really our question here, is to look higher and realize who we truly are. But let's read from the book here and see what messages come through here for us. So we've got the number 10 here. It says, take care in your choices now. Look carefully and judge wisely. There may have been something difficult to see, something that has been obscured, but now it's been revealed to you. Examine it closely. And it has a little phrase, I take my time to be accurate and precise in my discernment. So I love that because it's question. Also, this is like the foggy mind of the external world. It fills us with so many thoughts and beliefs about ourselves, and it's time to discern, is it really true? Let me look at that. You don't have to let go of anything you don't want to, but you can start to understand what's in your conscious and both your subconscious when it comes to your self-worth. And it says, when you get some years on you, hopefully the time you spend moving and choosing upon this earth brings you some kind of wisdom. Some of that wisdom will be bred of hindsight and perspective. All of us, if we're engaged in life, make good decisions and not so good decisions. Sometimes we make spectacular bad ones. All of us get hurt others, learn, forget, fall over again, get up. But hopefully we grow, we change. We're able to spot where our sore points are and fix them if we so choose. We're able to take a good long look at what is painfully recurring in our lives and deal with it. Yes, baby, deal. It says it here. The secret here is discernment, real discernment, really making it a priority to take time to assure the acuteness of judgment. Really look at the fine print before you buy. Instead of taking things on face value or rush into surface judgments, take your sweet time to form friendships and business relationships. Put your energy output into perspective. Look at evidence instead of only just believing. Feel and act when you're being trodden upon or having your boundaries overstepped, or when something doesn't quite feel kosher. Ask clarifying questions and really listen to the answers offered, then act on the reality. That is growth. That is real pattern busting. That is the gathering of wisdom. And it says, note, the waxing gibbous moons. This is the first of the waxing gibbous moons. The overall themes of this part of the moon cycle are action and will. Companion stones, if you're into that, is yellow jasper. And I love this because it's talking about, again, that discernment, about really looking at the fine print, looking at the details of your beliefs about yourself. And I can't get over that. It's just like, this is clouding our sight and our mind. It's talking about the filter we see through with our own self-worth. And I think I did it in the introduction. So if you jump to this, it was like, when we are giving love, how our self-worth is, that's the only amount of love that we can give. And the love that we accept, we can only accept it with as much as we love ourselves. So if it's a tiny little hole, then we're not getting, much in or out. But the more we expand our heart and we understand, this powerful being that we are, the more love that flows out and the more love that flows in. So I love that as a focus for this reading here. And then number 39, we'll get the additional messages here. And this is the beaver moon. So of course beavers love to create. And I love you can create your own destiny. Be industrious. Every creature on earth creates. You should welcome the process of creation. Save money and time. Have a reserve. The little phrase for this one is, I am a mighty creator. It is my birthright to create. And there's a good reason for saying busy as a beaver, for the beaver is truly an industrious animal. Not only do they create sophisticated architectural lodges, their little semi-submersible homes, but they change the course of rivers and waterways through strategic damming. They create new environments for themselves and others. Like the beaver, we too can create with industriousness and vigor. Everyone is creative, not just those who are considered to be creative, such as artists, designers, musicians, and writers. We all can be encouraged to think more creatively, to solve problems outside of square solutions, to invent new ways, and to imaginatively break new trails. So this moon is the moon of taking action. Our northern hemisphere ancestors at this time would be preparing for winter. They would be preserving food, preparing skins, gathering medicines, strengthening their homes if they were not nomadic, and preparing to move to better hunting grounds if they were nomadic. Anyone who didn't work hard at this time would likely suffer greatly for it when winter came. So the time to take action is now. So this one was all about action and will. This one is saying take action now. Companion stone for this one is chrysoprase, which is, if I'm mispronouncing it, it's chrysoprase. I love this because what stood out to me is creating a new environment for yourself. And that totally has to do with your self-worth. Creating that new environment of your lovability, of your perfectibility, of seeing you as you truly are, this powerful, supernatural, eternal spirit being made of unconditional love. Realizing that this little character you're playing here is not who you are. It's just a character you're playing, but you're much bigger. You're just unending and powerful. So I feel that is the journey to really find out your value of yourself and understanding your relation to your self-love is really going to be this journey. For the next 4 to 6 weeks, I just feel that there's going to be things unfolding for you. Memories coming up, relationships rekindling, so that you can talk through things, not necessarily to get back with people or that you have to be besties with someone that you had an altercation with, but that you talk things out, because if those things are eating your heart and you're feeling all that pressure and that pain, prickliness in your heart, then it's something that your heart wants to deal with and go, hey, let's get this resolved and we can move on, without it recurring every hour, every day, every week, every month, every year, or something like that. All right, so we're going to ask, these are the Light Seers Tarot. We're just going to see what else the Creator would like us to know about what do you value most about yourself, and then what do you want to know about your self-love? What can help us? Okay. You want those two? Oh, okay, and that one too. All right. Easy breezy. So the first one is the Seven of Wands. And I love this because you can see this little bubble of love that goes around you. And what's cool about this, this is all about, the wands for me are all about spirit. It's about unconditional love. It's about that spark that you have for yourself in your life. And if you do realize, who you are, and you create this bubble of love around you, just see how peaceful and serene she is. And you can see, like this wand over here, poke, 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 trying to get a reaction, trying to get through, to that, through that bubble, burst in your bubble, because they're either jealous or they're feeling so low about themselves that they think that you're higher than them, so they want to bring you down to their level. And that's the thing that happens in our lives too, is, most humans have a low self-esteem, and that's the way that this world kind of works, just because of all these expectations we have, and no one's living up to anyone else wants each other to be, and it's just this constant cycle. But when it comes down to, I lost my train of thought, and they're like, come back here. They, because of the low self-esteem, you're going to see people like what I call boasters and what you call destroyers, or people will do a combination of both. So what happens is, so if someone feels like they're down here and they see you as up here, then a boaster will try to bring themselves up to where you're at, so where they can feel like you're on the same level. But if you have a low self-esteem, and you have a low self-esteem and you feel they're up here and they're boasting, you just feel like they're trying to make themselves even better than you. And that's where that, ugly feeling comes when you're around a boaster. Everyone is like, that boaster needs to be humbled, and I'm just the person to do it, right? Same thing with a destroyer. So if a destroyer sees you're up here and they're down here, they want to destroy you to try to bring you down to here. But if you're down here and you see them up here, because our self-esteem is low, right? Our self-worth is lower, then we just see them as like, oh, they're trying to push me, further down, where under the table, you can't even see me anymore. I'm so down. And that's why we get defensive as well. So, that message is to understand that you don't have to be defensive or offensive or worry about individuals that come with these sticks to try to poke to burst your bubble, because no one can lower your self-worth. If we're looking outside of ourselves for our definition, then that's what I call retail price. What does the world think of me? What price do all these people put on me? And that's unstable and fluctuating, because everyone has a different opinion depending on how they're feeling at the time about themselves is going to change how they feel about you. But when you have that strong sense of your self-worth based on the unconditional love, which is very, very stable, right? There's nothing you can do to lose that love of the Creator. Then you have this bubble, whatever they say bounces off of you and sticks to them, you're rubber and they're glue. All right. This is perfect too. So you got the 10 of Swords, which, again, this was a 10 over here, which is endings and new beginnings. And swords are all about your thoughts and beliefs. So this is so perfect for this reading here, because these are all those thoughts and beliefs about yourself that you've been convinced to believe, that you took on as your beliefs through time, but now is the time to question those. When it talks about discerning those, it's, time to take each of those crows and just go, what? Why do I believe that about myself? Where does that originate from? And is that really true? And then as you start to walk without those new thoughts, you start a fresh new journey, without all of those. And it's just a new, like a breath of fresh air. You can just kind of imagine just walking along this beautiful beach without all those thoughts that are there. I'm trying to block them out. Let's have to do it opposite on the camera. There we go. So you're just walking without all of those, and you see a fresh horizon, new possibilities, and your life just seems just open instead of feeling that confined. So, I love that right in there. And all of that comes with the Page of Cups, which is new emotions and new feelings. And I love it because, here's the little love sign. I love myself, and you can see all this energy, just all these lines shooting out, and you're realizing the self-love inside, and you're starting to look up at your dreams and going, hey, I can go to a new level. I'm up there. And I love it because this is almost like looking higher, right? See your higher self. This is your lower self on the earth. You can see your higher self up here, and you're like, but I didn't think I could love myself until pigs fly. Look, the piggy is flying. So now is the time. You're able to find that love, within you. And I always love because this is the Ace of Cups, which for me in tarot represents our soul, our unconditional love, our higher being, our higher self, that higher love. That's what fulfills us. And I just feel like this is such a strong message here of connecting to your higher self, discovering who you really are, questioning all of these beliefs and thoughts that you've had, discerning and getting to the root of things, because that's going to set you free. And this is a perfect time. So, as you go into this new moon energy, just start to set that intention of, I want to let these old beliefs come forward so I can question them. And then if I choose to release them, then I will. And what's wonderful is when you start to question, the beliefs, and you really bring it up from the darkness and shadows out into the light, you start to see the holes that are in the story, and you start to go, wait a minute, why do I even believe that? Just because this person said it in a moment of anger, you're never going to amount to anything. Or this person, said you're worthless, or this, person left you for someone else, and you think, oh, I'm not, much of anyone because they left me for someone else. But then you see, oh, they left them for someone else, and they left them for someone else, and left them for someone else, and left them for someone else. You realize, oh, they weren't even, I couldn't make them happy because they weren't happy themselves. You just start to see all these wonderful truths come out, and the lies fall away on their own. Once your mind sees how false they are, it just stops believing it. It's like, yeah, why am I even believing that? And it just falls away on its own. So I wish you much, much love as you go into this new moon, and just know every second of every day you are unconditionally loved by the Creator of all things. And I love you too. We'll talk to you soon. Take care. If you chose reading number 2, which is just the new moon in general, then this is the reading for you, and it's all about a new start is coming. So I love this for us. We're going to use the Queen of Moon Oracle just to get an overall general idea of what could be coming new for you with this new start that is headed your way. And before I jump in, I always just like to start a reading by acknowledging that the Creator is here with us and welcoming you, Creator. We're so blessed that you are a God, a Creator that cares about every second of our life. You don't just come around for the big events or to grade us and check up on us. You're always with us, caring and guiding us every moment. If we'll just shut up and listen. I know. And we're so grateful for your unconditional love that you have for us as well, that there's nothing we can do to lose that. And we also welcome all the posse that helps support the Creator's will upon this earth and helps us seek unconditional love. All our angels, all our guides, all our ancestors, our loved ones that are on the other side, and all the myriad of unconditionally loving beings of light and love. We welcome you and thank you all. All right, let's jump in. Let's see what would you like us to know about the new start that is coming with this new moon? What will help us bring that newness, or what do you want us to be aware of? All right, for those that chose the new moon card, what would you like us to know? Okay. Like this, the void, and this is the number 1. So how fitting for a new moon, because here is kind of the new moon itself here, and we're just ready, we're resting, we see the stars. And I love that about darkness is when stars shine, because that's when we see it. But for some reason too, fireflies came to mind. It kind of reminded me of fireflies, and that's the fireflies' magic is seen most in the darkest of nights, right? So for some of you, that might be a message or a memory about fireflies that has significance for you. And so talks about the dark moon, the void. It's your time to rest and reset. Release all that does not serve you. Stop resisting. The void is a time of possibility, not just darkness. There's nothing to fear in letting go of negative patterns and habits, so let go of the old. The little phrase it says is, I freely release what I no longer need. So while the full moon, full attractive power, gets all the publicity, the dark moon, which offers the infinite possibilities of a clean slate, is just as powerful in its own way. The dark moon often looks like just a darker piece of the night sky, and in some cultures, the way it appears harkens back to the idea of the void. It is a place of unknowable secrets, a state of everything and nothing, or a place to prepare or rest before moving on. To me personally, there's a relieving, restful quality about this darkest moon that allows pondering and decisions about what we can jettison before making fresh plans for the new moon, which is the next day. If you find yourself resisting the dark moon, it's usually a clear sign that you are being stubborn about letting go of something that is old and not serving you in a positive way any longer. Often, that is a fear or pattern that was created to protect you in some way. However, now it's outdated, yet you're still carrying it or acting it out. Know that this moon is powerful, but it is also incredibly gentle in the way it helps you unravel what actually is so you can embrace the fresh start of tomorrow. Relax, reframe, and think about how much better your life will be without that bad habit, fear, or pattern. Get very clear about the possibilities of this transformation and what it will give you in real terms. This is the power of the dark moon. It's the optimum time in the cycle to release the old and cut the cords of relationships and traumas that deserve no time and attention in your present. I love that. Release the old and cut the cords of relationships and traumas that deserve no time and attention in your present. And the companion stone or metal is jet, J-E-T, jet, like jet black, right? I love that. So, the void, the new moon, this comes right before the new moon. So just know that what's coming is the opportunity to let those things go that no longer serve you. I love that. Don't give time to those relationships and those traumas and those past events that no longer deserve to hold that energy and that time in your life. All right, and we're going to pick some cards here from the Light Seers Tarot just to get some clarification around letting go, this new start, clean slate. Doesn't that feel good? Just to be able to I'm going to start from scratch into something new. I'm ready to let the old go to make room for the new. And when I was reading that, one of the visions I had was like a water filter. The water filter filters out the impurities and helps you keep healthy water. But after a while, it starts needing to be let go and a new one come in because otherwise it's not doing what it was designed to do anymore. It's outlived its use. So, there you go. What else would you like us to know about this clean slate? What else about the new moon? What else about the void and the new moon? What else? Love that. 5 of Pentacles. So what's interesting is that, this is about, look how down and outcast she feels. And, the Pentacles is all about the external world and about, it can be jobs, it can be, your income, your home, the physical possessions, the outward stuff. Not so much relationships, but it can be relationships to an extent as well. But it's like, I just feel so lost and I feel so hopeless. And then you're like, and you're like, here's the key to the door to let you out, And I love that, because it's like, you no longer, your sorrow no longer serves you. It's time for change. And I was just talking this morning to my roommate about the 5, and that's all about change. So it's time for a change. It's time to unlock that door and move into a new abundance, just in every area of your life. Whatever you feel has been restricting you, this is letting go of those old things, those old feelings, and like I said, that letting go of the traumas and relationships that no longer serve you. And there's the key to the door. So that can be, the door you step through, or you can be like, hey, I'm opening the door's not locked, see your way out, bye-bye. Oh, beautiful. And then the Knight of Pentacles. This is about planting, like for a new moon, planting new seeds and watching them grow. Just understanding that it's not going to happen overnight, and that's okay. You're going to do the work, you're going to till the ground, you're going to pull up the old stuff. I always have the vision of like corn. After you take all the corn off the corn stalks, and the corn stalks get pulled up and taken out, so that you can till the ground and plant new seeds. So those stalks are no longer serving you. They served their purpose to grow the corn husks and all that, but that's no longer there. You got the fruit from what you need from it. Now it's time to remove those, just the corn stalks, because what are they gonna be used for except to scare you? Thinking of children of the corn or something like that. Wow. And then you got the King of Pentacles. So Pentacles, Pentacles, Pentacles. So all about these external things that have been impacting you, these traumas, these relationships, the jobs, whatever this external situations that have been impacting you. It's time to let it go. The King of Pentacles is showing that you have the master ability within you to rule your world, to make those decisions, to see things through wisdom that you've gleaned. This talked about all the wisdom that's come from those experiences that you had, and now you get to use that wisdom. And in letting go, just know this is where you're headed. I just love the story that comes with this, because it's like, yep, when you get up, get the key, open the door, let those things go that no longer serve you, and step through into new opportunities. Then you do the work to plant the fields, to get rid of those things. New harvest comes, and then you're just able to sit back in luxury and abundance of so many ways. Of course, abundance always doesn't mean you're going to win the Powerball and be a millionaire, but you're going to feel abundant, especially after, feeling this, just being free from this feeling, you can feel like you're living in abundance, right? All right, and then I feel like I need to pull one more card, and, nope, not that one. I need to pull from this Journey of Love deck. I'm just going to pull one more card here from you. I feel like there's like one more thing I want to say. All right, what's the final message that you have for those that chose the new moon, please? Make it really, okay, I was going to say make it really obvious, and that one really jumped out to me. And this one is the Cloak. I love that. That's number 50 there. And I'm just going to Put that right here. And we'll see what message we have here. It says, around you there is a cloak of your own creation. Perhaps it has served you for a time as an invisible form of protection, as a way to claim needed solitude, as a way to retreat inside, to find out what you truly feel, what you truly need, to find yourself after being lost in an ocean of thought and emotion, not always your own. Yet the time is fast approaching when you will no longer require that cloak. You've attained an integration within, a knowledge of self that makes it possible for you to connect with the world, with others, in a way that does not leave you lost and struggling to find yourself. You've learned how to hold yourself. You have learned how to do this well enough that you can successfully hold yourself and hold another too. You don't have to push the world away. You can invite it in and play. The message of this oracle brings to you is that you can safely release the forms of security that you once held. You do not have to abandon your boundaries with others. Rather, your boundaries are so functional that you can enter into relationships with more openness, trusting that your boundary will naturally assert itself when necessary, giving you the connection to yourself that you need when you need it, without having to withdraw from relationship entirely. It is time to trust your own boundaries and practice letting them help you whilst actively engaging in deeper relationships. You'll have fun. I love that. And then, that jumping out of here, that release the forms of security that you once held. So, clarity for your message here on what you can release. It's like, oh, okay, those things, and I think even mentioned in the card there too, those boundaries and those walls we had up that once protected us for a reason, we no longer need that. We can let that go and move into, a fresher place. Wow, I love this for you. Hope this resonated with you. I was like blown away by it. But just know that as you go into each day of this new moon and this new moon season, just know that as you go through this transformation, you are unconditionally loved by the Creator of all things. And I love you too. We'll talk to you soon. You take care. Right, if you chose reading number 3, then this is the reading for you. That was the full moon in Taurus, the moo cow. I'm not sure if bulls go moo. I really don't. I'll have to research that. But we're going to start off by pulling a Queen of the Moon Oracle card. Before I do that, I always love just to thank the Creator for being here with us. We're so grateful for your presence. And thank you for the unconditional love that you have for us. That's unending. And we can't even see the shores of it. It's so massive and expansive and never ending. So we thank you for that. And we also welcome all of our posse of invisible support, all of our angels and guardian angels and our spirit guides, all of our loved ones who are on the other side already, and our ancestors, and any other of those magical beings of unconditional love and light. We welcome you, and we thank you for being here as well. So if you didn't listen to the introduction, one of the things with the last full moon was October 31st of last year, and we had asked back then, list 10 things that are wonderful about you. And since we've gone through a 6-month cycle, and kind of the full moon is about what we're releasing and what we're letting go, it's like, now that you've gone through that, now make a new list of today, what are 10 things that are wonderful about you, and it's not being arrogant. And I used to work for a company where you had to write a monthly narrative, and I'm like, it feels so uncomfortable to toot your own horn. We're so taught to not do that because that means you're arrogant. But there's a fine line between arrogance and confidence. Confidence is that you know what you do well and what are wonderful things about yourself. Arrogance says that I'm better than others. So this is about self-awareness. This is about competition and trying to put yourself above others. So, just know as you go about this, the Creator totally wants you to make a list. And because they have a long list of more than 10, trust me. So just, they want you to be able to celebrate the uniqueness and wonder that you are. So as we go into pulling one of these Queen of the Moon Oracle cards here, we're just going to ask, what would you like us to know about how wonderful we are? What would you like us to know about who we really are? How can we see the wonderfulness of ourselves? All right, what would you like us to know? Okay. This says action here, but I just really love this. Ta-da! Look how wonderful. It's like celebrating your magnificence. And that's a 15, which breaks down to a 6, which the 6 is like for me, is the parent number. It's like the mother card of the parent. And that's a proud, it's like the proud parents looking at their child. That is how the Creator feels about you. No matter what you do, they're just like, oh my God, it's amazing. It's amazing. And let me read from the book here. It says, the time has come to take action. Let go of your paralysis. Let go of your burdens step by step. I am responsive and ready to take action. Sometimes we're afraid to move forward. It's natural. Change can be difficult. And if we've been hurt or have failed before, we're anxious about what may happen if we instigate change. Maybe we think it's easier and safer just to tread some water for a while, instead of taking joyful action toward the thing we truly desire, such as the writing of a book, undertaking a study, accepting a new job, or seeking a better relationship. Instead of doing that, we balk, we freeze, we don't take the steps we could, and so we remain stagnant, we don't grow. But this moon phase encourages us to embrace action. Action's part of our humanity. We're not made to hide and refuse to blossom. And the companion stone is rhodonite, Rhodonite. So if you're into crystals and stones and metals, then just know that for this. But I love that. It's time to take action. It's time to not be afraid, because that word mistake always jumps out, and it's like, can we make a mistake? We might be able to not meet up to an expectation that we put on ourselves or that others put on ourselves, but is that a mistake? No. If we are creators, little mini creators, it's like I just had this flash of a little child coloring in a coloring book, and the parent is sitting there, and the child goes outside the lines. An unconditionally loving creator of us would be like, well, what are you going to do with that line? What are you else are you going to create with that? Maybe they're adding an antenna to someone's head, whatever. But our judgmental, physical, fearful mind will go, mistake, get back inside the lines, right? And that's not what, how we can see ourselves. When we become, that place of unconditional love, then we see of everything that we do as, could I have done it differently and got a different result? Yeah, absolutely. That's what the whole world of possibilities is. We can change things all the time, right? But did I do it wrong? Did I make a mistake? No, I did it exactly as I thought I needed to in the moment. With the information I had, with the beliefs I had about myself, with all the thoughts I had, I thought this is what I wanted to do. And that's not a mistake. If I don't like the result and I want something different, the beautiful thing is I get to change that if I want to, but I don't have to. If someone else is saying, I don't like the way that resulted, but you're fine with it, what's the problem? Their thoughts about the situation is their problem, not yours, right? So I love that. Next, we're going to pull some cards here from the Light Seers Tarot just to get some clarification, around how can we know more about our wonderfulness, releasing ourselves from those expectations. We get to see who we truly are. When you're looking at this and you're going, oh, that's wonderful, but you're not a dancer, you're a carpenter, so that's a failure. It's like, no, it's like dance the dance. If everyone else thinks you should be a carpenter, but dancing is what makes your heart sing, then this is your wonderfulness wanting to express itself. Or, opposite, if someone wants you to, be a dancer, but you want to be a carpenter, because that's what brings you joy and how you express your creativity, then that's your part of your wonderfulness. So, okay. Enough of that example. I think you get it, because you're super smart. All right. How else can we see how wonderful we really are? What else would you like us to know about the amazing, wonderful us? Okay. Any others? Okay. No, not that. Okay. Yep. Knight of Wands. And I love this. This is the action of fire. This is you can see the fire just burning bright in the drum. All that amazing energy. You see all those dots going up from them. The horse is just full of action and fire. It's all about embracing that inner fire that you have and express it. She's drumming on the drum, proclaiming outwardly that amazing fire that's in there. And look how happy and content she is. She's just letting herself be who she is without restraint, without restriction. This Knight of Wands is one of the most vibrant of all the knights, because usually the knights, three out of the four knights are knights of action, but the fire one is all about super fire, that wild horse, like it's saying, running free on the plain, galloping at speeds, its mane flying in the wind. It's like yes, unbridled, no one riding her back, no one trying to steer her one way or another. It's the horse riding free, on the plains, nothing telling it what it can't do, it doing what it wants to do. And I really feel that's the fire that is coming in, for you. It's like, how can we know how wonderful we are? It's by being who we are, by expressing that fire within us. Because the more you express that and release yourself from all that restriction, it's just beautiful. People just are like, oh my gosh, she's smiling, whereas before you'd wake up and go, oh God, I've got to try to do what everyone else wants me to do today. What kind of joy does that bring anyone? Okay, like I said, Knight of Swords. So the other knight, a knight of action, running, rushing to get to this, another vehicle to head out to do. Swords are all about thoughts in the mind. So there's one huge thought that's on your mind, and I really feel it's like, go for it. What are you waiting for? To die? To live your dreams? To live who you are? To sing your song? To play, to play that song, to play that drum, to beat that drum, to express yourself? Last year, at the focal point when things really started to blow up, I just realized, I left a company that I've been with for, over 20 years. And I just was like, you know what? I'm just existing. I'm not living my life. I'm not expressing my unconditional love to the world and my uniqueness and what I want to do. And what am I waiting for? You know, people started to, you know, be physically impacted and pass away. And I'm like, yeah, what am I waiting to do? I'm going to die and then go, oh my gosh, I've only got 6 months to live or something. You know, I'm going to live my dream, try to crush it into a certain amount of time. So you start to evaluate things, you know, you start to look at what do you value? You know, I'm like, I sold my truck. I didn't drive it a whole lot anyway. I moved to another state, moved in with a wonderful roommate. So it's lower cost, and you start to make choices and go, that's not what I wanted. You know, you're like, I know what I want. I'm going to chase after it, and I'm going to sprint. I'm not going to slowly walk, and I'm going into it. So you've got 2 nights, you know, about action. Now's the time to express the wonderfulness that is within you. You know, that's how you find out who you are, by letting go of all the restriction on things that you believe you're supposed to be, who you're supposed to be, what's the responsible thing to do. And it's like, you know what? There's ways of living your dream and being responsible as well, you know? So I think it's a strong message for you. Yeah, because you got the Queen of Pentacles. It's Mother Nature in my mind as well. It's because she's the queen of the external. She's calm. She's got it handled. She's all about new birth, new things, growth. She's got her abundance in her hand. She understands her worth. She's not looking for those external things to define her anymore. She is. She knows herself. She's at peace with herself. And another message when I ever got the Queen of Pentacles is get out in nature, get away from things, get away from all those expectations, all those supposed to, shoulds, have tos, need tos, and get away where there's just being free, seeing nature. Nature is such a wonderful example for us. I'm staring out my window right now into this just beautiful scenery. You know, there's flowers and trees, and the wind's blowing, and the trees are just going with the wind, and they're just being, you know, they're not getting out of their roots and walking, trying to be anything else. They know who they are, and they just embrace that. And that's really, I feel the message for us too, is get out in nature, witness that beingness, and it'll allow you to express who you really are. So I love this. So as you go into this full moon, you know, really, you know, I'm not going to tell you what to do, but I really encourage you to take a moment and write down 10 things that you know are wonderful about you, that you know are wonderful about you. Not what you think other people think are wonderful about you, but what you know are wonderful about you. Because I can guarantee you, you are wonderful. And every second of every day, just know the Creator of all things loves you unconditionally. And I love you too. Until next time, you take care. Bye-bye.